Hey,
Hi.
what is up? Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 23.
Lucky 23.
Lucky 23? It's not even lucky number 23?
Well, I'm 23 years old, so
I'm 23 as well.
shit.
Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome
Yeah.
to the 23rd episode. Before we get started, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already.
Hit that notification bell so you can be updated on our latest content.
Ding! Okay, so let's jump into it. Talking about pet peeves. Pet peeves, the things that just drive you nuts. The small things that could just lead you to the brink of insanity.
Yep.
Yeah. Before we get started on that, we're going to stop again. Right now, while we've stopped, go to the comment section and tell us your pet peeves. Or you can just do it after you finish listening to us talk.
Yep.
My brain is having a hard time right now.
It's okay. It always has our time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
God. You're so loving and caring and affectionate.
Oh yeah, your face. Fix that shit. I was kidding. Just add to it. So pet peeves.
You.
Yeah, it's alright. One of my pet peeves is when you don't capitalize my name in the fucking Vox box.
Vox box.
That's what I'm calling it now.
The Vox box.
The Vox box.
I'm digging that. If never mind, I'm not even going to explain it to listeners. The Vox box. I like that. Yeah, when I don't capitalize your name.
Yep.
That's awful.
Or you don't put me on top. I'm always second. Does that mean I'm second best? Is that how that works?
No, it's just easier to keep up with because mine's through the left channel and yours is through the right.
But it tells you which one's is whose.
Mine's through the left channel, yours is through the right.
But that's what I'm saying. But like if mine was above yours, you would know.
In audio engineering, you always put left channels above.
Well, make mine come out of left channel.
I'd have to switch cables around and everything.
We could just switch seats.
I'm not doing that. I know. This is my spot.
Just saying.
This is my spot. And your spot over there is branded with your scent, okay? I don't want to hear it. Good Lord. Last night, are you kidding me?
You'll be alright.
It's like mustard gas, dude.
I'm telling you, man. It was that pork chop, dude.
Was it that pork chop, though?
I think
Or was
so.
it something else you ate? Did you eat,
No.
like peppered beef jerky
No.
before we started, or like deviled eggs?
No.
Nothing like that?
He's talking about my cologne, everybody.
You imagine if your cologne smelled that bad? You know what? Actually, I would get cologne that smells like beef jerky. I'm not even kidding. I would wear cologne that smells like beef jerky.
Okay. That's a pet peeve of mine.
Why is that a pet peeve?
Because
Don't
I
you-
would slap the hell out of you
Why?
every time I saw you.
Don't you think that would smell good?
After a while, I'd get old.
So does everything else.
No.
So what's your point?
I've been using my cologne that I use. It's Adidas cologne. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I guess. I've been using that for like 8 years.
Yeah, and I can't smell it anymore because I'm used to it.
Yeah.
We've hung out so much. Okay, oh my God, we have known each other so long. But the point is, we've hung out.
Every time I'm at work, I get told I smell good. And people ask me if they can sniff me. They
Well,
don't say smell me. They say sniff me.
Well, congratulations. They're not used to it.
Well, they love it.
We've been around each other so much, we can't even smell each other's colognes anymore.
You wear cologne?
Yes, exactly. That's my point.
You wear deodorant? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, all the time. It's fantastic.
I sleep with it and everything.
Yeah.
Like, rub it on my face.
Yeah, like I just rub it
Under my knees. You know?
under your knees.
Hey.
You know, actually, athletes do use deodorant under their knees.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I remember we
I
had.
ride that to light.
Well,
for all you people.
we actually had to do that when we played soccer because our socks were so high, and because if you didn't have something behind your knees, it would like your socks would like eventually rub your knees like raw.
See, I never ran
back
my
there.
socks that high, so I didn't worry about it. Like
You
I always
had
did
to-
them. It
You
was
had
right
to
under.
during a game.
They didn't.
Well, you had to have them as high as possible because they had to go above your shin guards.
Yeah, your shins cover your shin. It only goes. There's about a 2-inch gap above your where your.
You know how much
knees-
taller you are than me? Your
Well, I didn't have to-
your shin guards are going to, like, on you to proportion, your shin guards are going to look 3 inches shorter than on me.
Well, either way, I didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Like, if you got the same size soccer socks that I did, they would come at least 3 inches shorter on
I
you than they
could.
would me.
Yeah, I could have put them on my knee, but there wasn't no point. I rolled them down.
Yeah.
As long as it was over your shin
Dude,
guard.
I had to pull them up as far as I could. Because, like, we had, like, ridiculously short shorts. Like,
I just didn't care, dude.
our shorts were super short. I didn't care
It's
either.
a soccer thing, though. Every soccer shorts.
Like, I didn't care. Like, I liked the short shorts, dude. I was freaking rocking them.
I was flaunting it.
I loved them. But, like...
That's a term, right? Flaunting.
Yeah, flaunting it.
Short
Yeah,
shorts.
flaunting it. But, like, I don't know, like, because it was so cold. I mean, soccer season's cold. I don't care what anybody says. It's cold during soccer season.
I've played in the sleet and the rain.
Yeah,
before.
it's freezing.
Snow. I've played in snow.
So it's like, you know, you
That was fun.
got to keep them pulled up. Like, it just...
Oh, dude, if it rains, it's awful. And then it's like 30-something degrees outside. It's
Yeah.
raining.
And you start-
put your hands down your pants. You're like, dear God.
And, like, after every game, the sweepers, like, the top part of their calves where their, like, socks aren't, like, it's just cut all to shit because of the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times, man. Good times. Pet peeves.
I mean, honestly, I don't really have very many, except when people say "chow" when they hang up with me. Like, I think it's just because I don't ever hear it.
That's just one
But
person that you know.
Kinda, yeah. But if you said "chow," I would call you back and be like, "Say bye."
Why though?
I don't know. I don't like the term "chow."
What
I know they say that in other places of the world, but
Yeah, like, okay.
it just throws me off. It throws me for a loop.
Of course
like
it
I'm
does.
like, yo,
but
see
like,
a man, and he's like, "chow," and it's like,
well,
what?
That's kind of culturally insensitive, though, ain't it? Because if somebody's in somebody's culture, if they get used to saying something so much, like instead of saying goodbye, they say ciao. Okay, that's part of their culture if they've done that their entire life.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be insensitive to the point where you're going to be like, no, you're going to say bye to me, that's just kind of like low key accidental racist.
Oh, it ain't accidental racist. I got nothing a problem with anybody's race. It's like there are so many terms out there. I don't even say the same thing every time I hang up. I'll either say bye, I'll say fuck off, I'll say fuck you, I'll say see ya, I'll be like bye, love you, I'll say love you, bye. I say different shit every time I hang up on the phone. Like every time. All right, so I guess we can clear it up for all the viewers. All right, so I've never been told chow ever before in my life, and now I work with a guy that says chow, and I'm pretty sure I said this last episode.
Yeah, you
and
said
I literally,
this through a few episodes. I
oh, it
think.
don't matter. I'm just making sure people know that I just say it because he's literally the only person I know. Like his family doesn't even say it. It's just him.
Really?
Pretty sure, yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know. It's just, I guess it's just a thing. But
Where's he from?
I make sure he's from Massachusetts. I make
Massachusetts.
sure that. See, and it's your face right there. And you're like, why? It's like.
I mean,
So I make sure that I give him hell about it like every day. Like he'll say chow, and I'll be like, I called him back once. I was like, well, did you just say chow? He's like, yeah, I said chow. I was like, what?
was he part of the mafia?
No.
Is that why he moved south? Is that why he moved to Tennessee?
I don't ask those kind of questions because I'd rather not have the mafia at my doorstep. I feel like they would go out just to like murder somebody.
Well, yeah, they would, but I feel like the mafia has like this big like respect thing. Like they hear someone talk,
So bye.
like
is
well, like
that's not respectful. Is that what you're saying?
well, no, what I'm like, I was just like asking, but like you said, I don't want the mafia at my doorstep threatening to kill me. Like, yeah, they are well respected to the point where like they'll threaten you, but like anybody from the
They
mafia
just leave and they say chow.
Yeah,
It's like
anybody from
what?
if anybody from the mafia is listening to this, they're just like, hey, come here and listen to this, bozo. Listen to this. Talking about the mafia.
It's chow.
Ciao.
He just.
We going to go get him? Nah, it's okay. He didn't tell him where we're at.
He's like, they show up my doorstep and like they threaten me and then they say chow and I just like get triggered. It's like, why?
You're going to be sleeping with the fishes. You're going to go chow chow. It's bye bye. Whatever. Bow.
It's like, and another thing, like, just people that get triggered for like the most off the wall reasons.
Yeah.
Like I guess it's a pet peeve for people having pet peeves. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, you ever seen somebody
It's
just
not
walking down the street and they just get like someone just like doesn't pick up a cart or like push a cart the way that they do, and they
Yeah.
just get straight triggered. It's like,
I don't think that has anything to do with pet peeves. I think that has to do with people being very sensitive. And
it's like don't even know a guy, just grab a cart and don't push it the right way.
Yeah.
You're straight triggered.
I think honestly what that has to do with people that are that sensitive to situations of that sort, I don't think they have. I want to choose my words carefully here because I can say something that would really upset a lot of people. They're not socially aware, I guess you can say. It's the type of people that are kind of, I don't want to say sheltered, I'll just say socially unaware because they're so used to situations where they're able to handle it with irrational thoughts or irrational actions. But when it comes to a social situation, they're still stuck in that mindset where they can't handle that situation for themselves because that's more of a personal problem. Like you were explaining, like I've always pushed a buggy or a shopping cart or whatever you want to call it, and whenever I've gone shopping a certain way.
Yeah.
And if
Everybody does it
and if
different.
I go to the store and I see somebody else pushing it differently, I'm not going to fly off the handle and like preach to them the reasons why this is the best way to push the buggy. It's going to save you like 10 breaths every time you go to the store, and it's going to save you 5 steps every time you go down an aisle. Like I don't give a shit. But somebody out there would. And honestly, I think it's not a pet peeve. I think it's more to do with them being very socially unaware of how people handle situations.
Okay, now this is a little bit different, but all right. I don't know if it's necessarily a pet peeve of mine or if it's just like I have no patience in some aspects. But have you ever been playing a game, like we're gamers,
Yeah.
and somebody's like, "Can I play?" And you give them the controller, and it's literally kind of like they just never looked at a controller before, like, and they just cannot do it, and then you have to try to teach them.
Yeah.
Like, is that like? But it like really it really fires me up sometimes. It's like, yeah, I've played this before, and then you give them the controller and they have no idea what's going on.
I think it's a patience thing. I think that's what it is.
It might be.
Because
maybe they go kind of hand in hand in a sense. Though.
I think so. I think it's just like has to do with impatience. Because you're not a very impatient person.
No, I can handle a lot of stuff.
You can be very patient. I think what triggers you about that is the fact you've done it for so long. It's just become second nature to you. It's kind of like breathing. You know how to do it automatically. And when somebody else says and they don't know what's going on, you're just like, how the hell do you not know what you're doing?
Cool, I've been doing this for 20 years.
Well, that's why, because like you've been doing it for 20 years and they haven't, and you have to, it was the same way whenever, I was giving guitar lessons, and at one point in time, I had maybe like 3 or 4 students, and it's one of those things, some of them are natural at it and some aren't. You really have to, in some cases, you've got to give like, for the people that know what they're doing and they kind of have a natural talent for it, all you have to do is say, okay, here's a general idea, try it. And then they try it on their own, they accomplish it, and they're better off because they learned it kind of the hard way. And there's also situations where they are just absolutely hopeless and you have to break it down step by step. But because...
That's when you just lock them in a room and give it to them and say, get it done or you ain't leaving. No dinner, bitch.
Well, like, I've never been able to read tab or use tablature, but I can read music. Like, I mean, it's the easiest thing ever because tablature doesn't...
We used to do tabs. Or maybe I used to do tabs and just show you stuff when we were kids.
Because, like, it doesn't show you inflection. It doesn't show you rhythm. It doesn't show you how to do the note. It doesn't tell you when to do the note. I can read music too. But. Yeah, like, there was something about it. And when my students would say, can I just use tablature, I would try to lead them away from it. And that aggravated me so bad because tablature is not the best way to learn guitar. I mean, maybe to begin with, yeah, it gives you a general idea, but you really need to be able to learn how to do it by ear. And that made me so angry because all guitar players, when they're starting out, or even some, guitar players that are like, been playing for years and know what they're doing, they still use tablature, which is perfectly fine, but I think there's a point where you need to move forward and start learning how to read music. But anyways, my point is, because I'd been doing it for so long, it became like second nature to me. It's like breathing. And having to break that down and show somebody how to do it, because you're so used to doing it at full speed and doing it without thinking, now you're actually having to break it down and think about it. You're not used to thinking about it because it becomes muscle memory. So it's no longer like cognitive ability, it's just muscle memory. So now you're having to break that down and actually think about it yourself because you've never actually thought about how the process of how you do it. You just do it because you know how to do it. It's muscle memory. It's
Well, yeah.
one of those crazy things.
But I don't know. I guess I really don't have pet peeves. Pet peeves, like to an extent, like
Yeah.
like stuff irritates me, but I don't know if it's really to the point of being a
Yeah.
pet peeve.
My biggest pet peeve is some of my biggest pet peeves are when I'm driving. Drivers can aggravate the hell out of me. And especially, oh my God, Columbia, South Carolina. I've talked about this so many times, but I'm dead serious. Drivers in Columbia, South Carolina.
See, now
South
I can argue something.
Kakalaki.
What if, all right, what if this is like a kid, right? It's driving. What if it's a young adult driving and he drives a specific way and it's like not very good or it's not a way that you prefer and you get so mad at it. But see, the thing is they've been exposed to that because his parents drove that way and their parents drove that way. So that's like the same thing as the whole Chow ordeal.
That's not an excuse.
It is an excuse.
It's not an excuse because you have
It's their culture to drive like shit.
No, it isn't. That's not
How
an
do you know?
excuse.
You ever been to New York City?
No, I haven't.
They all drive up there. Awful.
You see, but this is the point. I'm like, okay, there's your point. It's a cult, like it's passed down. Their parents drove like that, so now they're going to drive like that. Wrong, because you have to take a road safety test. You have to have somebody in the car critiquing your driving. They probably didn't drive like that when they were taking their fucking test. Otherwise, they would have failed, wouldn't they? So they know different.
I don't know about New York. Just saying.
Well,
I mean, that's
if,
a whole nother level.
If you have to take
Whole nother
if you
ballgame.
have to take a test just to be able to pass and get your license, you're not going to be driving the way that you are currently whenever you took that test because you would have failed. And now they're driving that way because they don't give a shit.
Well, maybe their parents didn't give a shit.
That's my point though. You should care.
Well,
'Cause
I
it's
mean,
not-
I care. I drive
Yeah,
safe,
like that's the
but-
thing though. Like they're not conditioned to do that because whenever they have to study for the test and actually take the test, I don't know how things are in different states. And Ashlyn took her test and passed it, but she's a really good driver. But me, whenever I took my test, it was totally different from hers. And I've known people in other states that have taken driver's tests that, is completely different from what I took. But the point is, like, right now, some of the things I do, like, I drive with one hand on the wheel. And, whenever it comes to situations like, like if it's raining,
10 and 2 pitch.
like if it's raining or like there's really bad conditions, really bad traffic, I put both hands on the wheel.
Isn't it 3 and 9 now? Actually,
I don't know.
I think because the airbag would like break your arms if it's a 10 and 2, so they moved it to 3 and 9.
I don't know. Anyways, so like whenever I took my test, I was extremely careful about everything. I was acutely aware of every situation. And now I've been driving for years. There are things that I'm more loose about that I, was really tense about in that test. Number one, because it was a test. Number two, because you want to be safe and pass the test.
I didn't even care.
But I
took it down here. Did you have to take it in Johnson City?
Yeah, I had to take it.
Yeah,
out
I
of-
took it
out
down
of
here,
county.
dude. It was
Yeah,
nothing. We
I
drove
heard-
back roads most of the time.
I heard it was super easy. But that's the thing though, like you're not conditioned to drive like that. Even if your parents drove like that and you learned from them, you have to take the test and do it safely. So you know the difference between shitty driving and good driving. You know the difference because you had to take the test. So that's the difference. You have the choice to drive like that.
Well,
That's the biggest
I
pet
drive
peeve
with
of
one
mine.
hand, but that's because I drive a stick shift, and most of
Right.
the time my
Well,
hand's
it's
not
not-
even on them.
Well, it's not even that. Like I'm talking about certain things that people do when they drive.
Oh, when people just cut you off?
Not just crappy
Middle of
drivers.
traffic, and what gets me is when somebody, if you're on like a 4-lane and you go through the median,
Mm-hmm.
and you're supposed to go to the closest lane, or the closest lane,
And
to your
people
turn.
go all the way around.
Oh
like,
my gosh!
that's-
Especially if you're speeding or something.
Yeah.
God, that's annoying.
No, like I've never been cut off in my entire life.
Oh, I've been cut off plenty of times.
My biggest pet peeve is whenever there's a few things when people are riding on my ass. Like if you're right on my bumper, I am slamming on my brakes. I have insurance.
Oh, dude, I will literally stop in the middle of the road and drive 5 miles an hour. on
Oh
my
yeah,
turn, across the street.
especially if I'm on a back road or like a single lane road where people can't pass and they're riding my bumper, and I'm doing the speed limit. That's one thing I always do: the speed limit.
I go about 5 over
I never
usually.
speed. Yeah, well, I do like between the speed limit and 5 miles over.
Well, that right
like
there's
I
speeding
always,
right there.
well, I always stay like a little bit right there. But like people just ride my bumper and I'll always just like slow down 10 miles below the speed limit. Like I'll just intentionally make them mad, or I'll slam on my brakes a little bit and like brake check them because like I have insurance. You don't need to be driving like that. You're not in that big of a hurry. If you are, then you should have left your house or left wherever you were earlier so you can get there on
Well, okay,
time.
what if here's just a scenario. What if like their grandparents got put in the hospital and they're trying to hurry up and get to the hospital?
Then put on your emergency blinkers so I know it's an emergency.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I guess it's true.
Yeah. People that ride my bumper, I've never seen one that have emergency flashers on. Never. It's always just
I've only seen one, and I pulled over and let them pass me.
Yeah. Like, if they had emergency flashers on, I would.
What if they're broken? What if your emergency flashers are broken?
Then that's illegal.
Well, you know.
You need, like, literally, if you're in a hurry and you have somewhere to be that's an emergency and your emergency flashers are on, you get pulled over. I didn't know they were broken, officer. I have to get to the hospital. My wife's having a baby, or like my grandparents are sick, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You're getting a ticket. That's illegal.
Sure.
What would you? Okay, what about this? What if an ambulance, their lights and siren and shit was broken, and they were speeding around you?
I don't think you'd be driving on the road.
What if they didn't know they were broken? Just say
I'm pretty sure you would know if you were in an ambulance that your shit was broken.
Well, how would you know? Well, except for the siren. What if your lights weren't?
The lights, dude. You'd see those motherfuckers. They
What'd you
lights
during the
up
day?
everything.
What'd you during the day?
Yeah, literally the front. You can see your headlights have red lights that blink around them. You would know.
How are you able to see the headlights from the cab? You can't see headlights from your cab.
But you would see a red tint come off of them. It would shine up.
If it was broad daylight, I doubt it. I don't know. That's a good question. We'll have to figure that out. But like, point is, like, you're not going to know if your blinkers, like your emergency flashers, are broken because you can't see the front of your vehicle and them flashing. And if you get pulled over, they're still going to give you a ticket, or they might just let you off of a warning because you didn't know. But it's still illegal. Like, if it's an emergency, you need to get your emergency flashers fixed.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't really like the concept of pet peeves anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's a pet peeve.
Maybe it is a pet peeve for pet peeves.
There's just some stuff that just like everybody, including me, just needs to get over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there
like,
is.
And that's why I mean, pet peeves in a way is just like an excuse.
Yeah.
To get angry about something or whatever.
I don't know. Is it though? Like, there are certain things that would make you like.
I mean, like, but if you think like OCD, okay, somebody that's OCD.
Yeah.
And if you were OCD, one of your pet, like, just for example, you're OCD and like you have to have all your pencils in a specific way or something.
Yeah.
And then somebody comes over and accidentally hits your desk, right? Is it a pet peeve? Because it would bug the hell out of you to fix it. Would that be classified as a pet peeve? Because you have OCD and like you've actually.
No, because it's a condition.
Yeah, but how do you know
condition.
that like somebody just that gets mad about something just doesn't have OCD and just hasn't been took like they could have OCD and never went to the doctor
because they're not obsessive.
I reckon you go to the doctor for that, right?
Yeah, you have to be like diagnosed. I don't think it has anything to do with obsession. Obsessive compulsive disorder is like this thing where like you have to say, for instance, I have OCD big time. Like not real bad, but I'm pretty OCD. And there are certain things in my room, and especially here in the studio, there is a specific place for everything.
Yeah, I know that when we play hide and seek.
Yeah. And if there's one thing that I know of that, you know, like if I can't get up in the middle of the night with the lights off and walk directly to it, there's a problem. I need to turn the lights, wake up, get out of bed, and put it back in its place so I know where it's at. Whenever I have a pet peeve about something, I'm not obsessive about it. It doesn't need to be that way because everybody has their own free will to do it. You have your own free will. You choose your own destiny and future. I'm not going to get out of my car and force you to drive a certain way like I would trying to put things in place with OCD. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the difference. But like, I think you are right to an extent because if you have a pet peeve, maybe sometimes, depending on who you are and how you go about it, it is just an excuse to get angry about something. But for some situations, there are pet peeves that, you know, I genuinely have that upset me because it is a problem.
No, I do have a pet peeve. I have one.
Which is?
In my job, I'm a butcher.
Yeah.
When somebody else uses your knife,
Yeah.
That pisses you off more than I know. I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
If there's a butcher out there listening, they know
Yeah.
what it's like. Because, see, everybody cuts a different way. So, and everybody sharpens a knife a different way. So, usually when I sharpen a knife, one side's a little bit sharper than the other. I don't mean to do that. It's just how it is. But when somebody else uses that knife, they can look at it and they can mess it up just by the way they cut.
Mm-hmm.
Because they cut a different way. And it's like, and especially when it's sharp and like you can cut through something, but it's sharp the way you hold it, and somebody else is like, "Can I borrow your knife?" You're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "This is dull. How can you cut through this?" It makes you madder than, and I honestly believe that might be a pet peeve.
So, okay, answer your own question with that. Do you think that's OCD or do you think that's a personal issue?
I think it's a pet peeve because I can't help the way I sharpen a knife.
I didn't say pet peeve. Is it OCD or personal issue? Because a pet
It
peeve
wouldn't be
is
OCD because like I can't control how I sharpen my knife.
Yeah.
It's just
'Cause
natural the way it's.
because I think that a pet peeve is a personal issue. Like
then it would be personal issue.
Yeah, because if you think about like you have that pet peeve for a personal reason, because you've had an experience with that personally in your life, so now it's become an issue to you.
Like I think in the same sense, like an OCD thing, like with knives or whatever, like you would have to, like I work with somebody, which it's fine, it doesn't matter, but he like has his knives in the counterclockwise. It's like in 11 o'clock position if they're dirty, and they're in a 1 o'clock position if they're clean. It's just the way he does it.
Yeah.
So he knows whether they're dirty or clean.
And I bet when he sharpens them, he does it a certain amount of times.
No, he doesn't.
No? Oh, okay.
No. I have to count how many times. Like I can't end on an off number. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like when I'm sharpening a knife, or actually anything for that matter, like if I'm playing drums or if I'm just fooling around with the guitar, I can't, unless the song requires it to be that way.
Yeah.
I have to count it out evenly. I don't know what it is, but that's OCD, and it's
it's one of those things. You have to end it on an even note. I feel you.
like I can't do odd. Like it has to be even, or like what was it? I was doing something the other day, and I was counting something. And it had to be a specific time.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know why. Like, it would have bugged me if it would have been. And if it would have went over, I'd had to restart.
Yeah.
It's like.
I feel like there's certain triggers for it. Like, I feel like there's certain situations where it would make you make it worse. You know, like you said with sharpening your knife. One side's always sharper than the other.
Yeah.
I think that the counting is a healthy thing because maybe that would help you get both sides sharpened evenly.
Well, actually, the reason it's sharper than the other is because it's supposed to be between like a 20 and 40 degree angle, and one's like a 35, and the other on the other way I do it, it's just a slight angle off. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it goes by the angle.
Huh,
but
gotcha.
I mean that's a lot of people though. Like
Yeah,
I mean, I've personally only met one person that puts it evenly sharp on both sides.
Yeah, I mean you're not going to get it perfect without a machine. You're really not.
Well, I mean you can get it pretty damn close,
Yeah,
and that's when like
especially if you're trained to do it.
Have ever used a knife and it'll shave you?
Yeah.
That you know that it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like or close enough to it to be classified as humanly.
Well,
possible.
I'm pretty damn sure you don't do that whenever you're about to cut meat.
No. I'll like if I'm sharpening, I'll do it and then I'll wash my knife off.
Yeah.
I don't like just to see if I can
Yeah.
See, I can shave on this my right arm, but I can't shave it on my left.
Do they have a machine to sharpen your knife?
No, we use a block.
Oh, okay.
We do it by hand.
Would they make that investment?
Probably not. It's too expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of sucks. But I mean, I guess I can understand, you know.
It's less time consuming, but it's too expensive. That's the problem.
Yeah.
See, and like we don't usually get fussed at when we sharpen knives because it's like the sharper you get your knife, the faster you'll cut meat.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't necessarily seem like it's a big deal, but and another thing is if you have a sharp knife, you're less likely to cut yourself than if you have a dull knife.
Yeah.
But
Because you're not having to force it.
Yeah, but then a sharp knife, it cuts like I could probably cut a piece of meat. We'll just say bottom round, just because so it's in my head. Bottom round piece of meat with a sharp knife in about 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It would take me about 6 to 7 minutes with a dull knife. That's just a gap there because with a dull knife you can't exactly shave the fat off the bottom of the meat as quick, and it's just. It's little stuff that adds up, and it adds about a minute or two to it.
Yeah. Well, This has been great. We've talked.
This has been fun. This has been real. This has been fun, but it ain't been real fun. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it is. But yeah, thank y'all for watching, and thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, listen to us.
We're still working on getting these put onto Google Play, so y'all can just download them and listen to these like you would a song, or you might be just hanging out,
working out,
working. You might be
listening to us,
listening to us while you're pumping iron.
I mean, I don't.
Or,
just like,
get it.
Pump it iron, pump it.
That hurt my throat.
Good.
Or you might just be washing dishes and you're listening to us scrub a dub. But
I'm in the tub. The dishes are in their own tub.
Wouldn't it be something if like you had so many dishes you had to wash them in your bathtub?
Good.
You know how crazy that'd be?
Rub-a-dub-dub.
That'd be so unsanitary. Anyways, we thank y'all so much. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already.
If you like our content, hit that notification bell.
Ding.
And just thanks for listening. I mean, we never really say thanks.
Yeah, we do.
Just full on. Thanks for following our channel and viewing all that. But literally, if you literally just sat through, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is really appreciated.
Some of our, we'll even admit to ourselves that some of our podcasts are better than others.
Yeah, they are.
It's just, and if you personally think this is one of our worst ones, thanks for sitting through all of it.
Yeah, for real. If it's bad and you still sit through it, that means you're dedicated.
Yeah, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I guess we're going to end the episode here.
We'll see you in the next episode. See ya!